Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, recently, Tucker Carlson went ahead and had an interview with a nun that is from Palestine, right? And so far, this video got over 1.2 million likes, and it was posted on August 11th. Now, if you want to go ahead and watch the whole entire video for yourself, by all means, go ahead, because I highly recommend it, especially for those of you out there who are, wondering what's happening to Christians in Palestine. If you're a Christian and you're a staunch Zionist, well, here you go. There's a nun who is literally from Palestine explaining to you guys what they're going through. And, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, then here is a list of all the subject that they talked about. And you can click on whatever time and, learn from her perspective. So with that being said, I wanted to react to this little part right here, right? It was about, I clicked on, 124. So let me go ahead and, okay. So the bombing Christian churches is not an accident. Now, when the whole thing happened, all of a sudden, oh, the war needs to stop. And by the whole thing, I mean, like, when it was like a month ago when the Israelis decided to bomb a church, killing 3 Catholic Christians, the only Catholic church in Gaza. They went ahead and bombed it. And of course, the Zionist supporters who are Christians were extremely angry about that. And I said it in my video, I don't care about your anger. It's not genuine. All right. You want to pretend that, oh my God, my Christian brothers are dying, we need to do something about it. That's your attitude. And I'm going to prove it why. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Bank, Gaza, the St. Porphyrius Church from the 3rd century, was bombed. We also have in the Orthodox.
How did a Christian church get bombed?
Because it's part of Palestinians.
Keep in mind, she said the 3rd century, by the way. All right. How long have Muslims been in Palestine? The claim is that Muslims were, unaliving Christians all over the world. Muslims were going ahead and destroying churches. Truth of the matter is, the oldest church in the world are built in Muslim countries. Sorry to break it to you, all you haters out there.
And all there, I've been there before. And basically, that it's the Holy Family Church and the Baptist Church. They're all pretty much in the same area. So you can't make a mistake. And Christians through...
Well, you don't think that was an accident?
No, nothing's an accident. I mean, occasionally a shell might go off, but no. And certainly the last time with the one where they pointed at the cross.
These people get the most advanced weapon from America. And you honestly think that they drop bombs on churches by accident? You honestly think that they unalive kids by accident? Really? Do you want to know why in the 12-day war that happened in, Iran? Do you want to know why they did precision attacks? Because they can't control the narrative that comes from there. Not really. They don't really have much control over that. So they want to make sure that they attack precisely the exact level that person is residing in their apartment. That's what we saw. And then of course they went on the internet and said, "Oh my God, look at this. Look at the precise attack that we did. Ooh. And then when the whole entire video, not entire video, but when Gaza was leveled, right? And some of the news anchors, they made their way over there and then they were able to show us an image. They came out. And you know what our president, Benjamin Netanyahu, said? Yes, I said our president. Come on, let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. Trump is not in control. Benjamin Netanyahu is. Do you want to know what he said? The excuse? Look at me when I say this. He literally said that the reason Gaza is leveled is because when they are going after Hamas, Hamas has planted bombs in all these buildings. So when they drop a little tiny bomb to try to, the precision attack to try to push out the one Hamas in that little building, all the other bombs in that surrounding area goes off. And I thought to myself, and I said, if that was the case, if that was true, let's say for the sake of argument, you're right. All those thousands of buildings that you leveled are all because Hamas had bombs inside of them. If Hamas had that much ammunition and that much bomb, do you seriously think that they would not be able to take over the entirety of Palestine? I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You've seen those videos where a Hamas person will have a bomb in their hand and they will run to tanks and then physically drop those bombs inside and run away, which tells you what? These are homemade bombs. These are bombs that they had to make themselves. And they have to get close to the target in order for that bomb to go off. And you're telling me these people in their caves were able to make enough bomb that is able to literally level the entirety of Gaza? Really? You expect us to buy that? I mean, this is the foolery that we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I got a little bit off track right there, but let's continue with the video.
You don't miss that. Well, at the Holy Family Church, the cross didn't topple, but literally inches from it. And I have, in Nablus at Jacob's Well, there's a large church now, and there's crosses on the front face in circles. And the monk always points out to us when I go there, there's a tank shell that was aimed at that cross. You can still see it from an earlier confrontation in Nablus. So don't tell me these soldiers make mistakes. You could, the church in Gaza has, it's pointed and the cross is there in the middle of it by itself. So it's hard to believe that it wasn't
So what would you say? What would you say to Ted Cruz, the self-proclaimed Christian, supporting tank shells fired at crosses? Like, what is that?
Well, I would say, again, it's to disabuse of the notion. It's those same talking points that the congressman gave. Well, but Hamas is the problem, and they're terrorists. Well, Hamas is not the problem.
Yeah. By the way, when they killed those 3 Christians, they said that they were Hamas supporters. Yeah. Yeah. Let that sink in for a little bit. The reason those 3 Christians died is because they were Hamas supporters, ladies and gentlemen. From now on, if you go rob a bank, just say Hamas had money in there and they were going to use that to go and unalive Israelis. So that's why I robbed the bank, Your Honor. It might work. I mean, they're doing it. The Israelis are doing it. They're leveling an entire state. They're unaliving a bunch of kids. And then they blame it on Hamas. And then the international court just turns around and say, well, guys, it was Hamas. So those of you out there who are committing crime, those of you out there who are doing all kinds of degenerate crap that I don't give a shit about, if you get caught, just blame it on Hamas and you just might get away with it. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's a cross all the way up top where obviously nobody is standing next to the cross. And then, clearly you can see that a tank shell hit it, right? But guess what? Hamas was there, Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. And now this is one thing that really pissed me off. Now, you guys see this. Ooh-wee. Golly, this is one ugly ass motherfucker right here. But, sorry for my language. This guy decided to come out claiming that, he's a big Christian, he likes to talk bad about Islam and, Now, we understand why he will say something like this. Now, if you don't know if you can read what my name is, I'll go ahead and just post the whole thing so that way you can read it for yourself. He even went ahead and posted this. And in the end, where it's circled, it said, she can die with Hamas terrorists for all I care. She's talking about whom? Her. She's talking about this lady right here, this nun right here. Now, this dude is obsessed with Islam. And it's not only him, by the way. But, somebody who claims to be a Christian, this is what he had to say about a nun that is literally from Palestine. And she went ahead and explained the whole story to us. She went ahead and explained the situation that they've been going through. And this dude went ahead and disregarded everything she had to say. Why? In his own word. I don't ask to respect someone who defend Islamist terrorists who mass murder and raped my friend. In his own word, that's what he said. The reason he disagreed with her is because the lady spoke the truth about what's really going on in Palestine, and it didn't fit the narrative. It didn't fit his idea of what he's been claiming that Islam is all about. So he wanted to go ahead and say, let's pump the brake, ladies and gentlemen, let's pump the brake. All right. Just because she is a nun, it doesn't mean that she's right. I mean, let that sink in for a little bit. If Jesus was to come back and said that, you know, these Palestinians are in the right and what the Israelis are doing is completely wrong, this buffoon, this ugly dude right here would literally say Jesus is wrong and Israelis are right. This is the level of idiocracy that we are living in. This is the level of retardedom. If it's not a word, now it's a word that we are living in, ladies and gentlemen. These fools, these people, I want to use the most vulgar language that I possibly can right now, but I'm trying to stay as respectful as I possibly can because I understand that there will be some kids who will probably be watching this. But these people right here, they're so stupid. Money has clouded their judgment so much so that they would turn a blind eye to somebody who is literally seeing the effect of what's going on in Gaza. Come and explain the story of what's going on. And money has clouded their judgment so much that they will say, nope, I don't believe what they're saying. Why? Because they will much rather have the Zionists explain their side of the story to them. They will much rather fall into whatever narrative that the Zionist has to spew out, rather than actually listening to somebody who walked and saw what's happening in Gaza. This is why I have no respect for people who are claiming to be Christian and support Zionism. I don't like y'all. Not every other Christian. I have respect for Christians, don't get me wrong. But I don't have respect for those Christians who are claiming to be God-loving people. Oh, turn the other cheek when you get slapped on one of them. You know what I'm saying? Jesus said that we should call for peace. Jesus said that, love your enemies and stuff like that. These are the same exact people who are turning around and say, bombs away, Israel. Knock yourself out because you are God's chosen people. This is the stupidity that we're living in. This is the idiocracy. This is what we have to deal with. Those of us out there who are rational, those of us out there who are seeing these demonic fucks doing whatever it is that they're doing, this is what we have to deal with. And it's so frustrating because it's like, bro, are we not living in the same world? Are we not seeing the same thing? How in the world can you see an entire people just their home completely leveled? And you want to turn around and say, well, this is war. How can you see the stats? Over 100,000 people completely annihilated. And you want to turn around and say, well, this is war. Sorry for keeping on this ugly ass dude's face. But you get what I'm saying. I get really fired up when I see stuff like this. Why? Because it infuriates me. When I see for myself, when I hear for myself, and then I'll go to X or YouTube, and then I hear these brain dead idiots saying, guys, don't believe what you're seeing. The Palestinians are in the wrong. They're the one that started this war on October 7th. It's like, hey, you dumb fuck. It didn't start on October 7th. As soon as they say October 7th, just understand that this person is brainwashed. They're stupid. And if they're not brainwashed, they're being bought. They're being told, hey, don't talk about what happened before October 7th. Rather, talk about exactly from October 7th and on. Sorry for going on such a tangent. I really hope you guys heard everything that I had to say because, you know, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and stop it right there. I went on. And, you know, please forgive me. I'll catch you guys.